Hello family and new viewers, welcome back to my channel. In this video you're about to see, this brother in Christ said God gave him a rapture dream, and this dream was different from all other dreams he had. Let me know what you think of this video, write in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
Last night I had a rapture dream, but it wasn't like most people's rapture dreams. So the dream started off with me praying, and as I've been doing, I pray over my family, I pray over my dogs, but in the dream, I was praying over my dogs specifically. And after I finished praying over my dogs, I had looked out of my window. So in the distance, I could see like a city skyline. It was nighttime, and I couldn't really see what city it was. I could just see the lights from the city. And I had this sense like, okay, well, war is about to start. So I knew that the rapture was going to happen because I know that the church is taken either during or right before war breaks out. So I'm looking through the window and I see like a smoke plume from the rocket. So I'm like, okay, well, it's about to happen. So I closed my eyes because I started to get a little anxious, anticipating either the rocket to hit or the missile to hit or the rapture. And I wasn't really sure what to look for. So I just closed my eyes and I was praying. And then I started feeling the ground shaking. I started feeling like almost the house shaking. So I didn't know if that was like the rocket hitting or what it was. But again, my eyes were closed, and the whole time I'm thinking, okay, are my dogs with me? I don't know why this was on my mind the whole time, but I'm thinking about my dogs. And then I start feeling myself get pulled. So after I'm like pulled up, I'm thinking I'm yanked up. I'm about to be in heaven, like most people who have rapture dreams. And I wake up, but I'm in almost like a car wash. And I was on like a conveyor belt. And there were like two little figurines, or it was like a little figurine. And it was reminding me like the game Life, like the board game Life. And so I'm going through this conveyor, and it's basically showing me like an overview of my life, different sins that I was struggling with. It was showing me chances that I had to, work for God, chances that I missed, things like that. And it really wasn't looking that great, to be honest. And long story short, by the time I get to the end of this conveyor belt, I'm full-blown panicking because just from what I'm looking at, I'm like, this does not measure up to God's standards. So I'm panicking, I'm crying, I'm sobbing, I'm throwing up. And I hear a voice over all the system, and it says, he's covered. And after that, I woke up. So the dream was so intense that I woke up and I was like, really, my heart was beating. I couldn't barely breathe because it was that intense. I really didn't think that I was about to be able to get into heaven. And the first thing that came to my mind was 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. And this verse basically says, for the time has come where judgment begins at the house of God. And if it begins with us, then what will be the end of those who do not obey God? And it just really put into perspective that the rapture is a judgment, not only on the church, but it's a judgment on the world. It begins judgment on the world, but it's a judgment on the church. And I think that is why we hear about so many people being left behind, because even though you are a Christian, you believe in God, he does expect us to walk in a certain manner. He does expect us, we're ambassadors of his kingdom, so he expects us to be good representatives for his kingdom behind closed doors and in public. And I don't think many take into consideration that even in that same verse, 1 Peter chapter 4, not the same verse, verse 18, it says that the righteous are scarcely saved. So even the people in the church barely make it in. And I really think that that's what that dream was showing me. And that's why I was kind of like hyperventilating, because of Jesus hadn't vouched for me. And I think that's what We all know that verse, depart from me, I never knew you. I think that's what that means. Like, God needs to know you. It's just like you're getting into a club and, you're at that door and somebody's like, oh, you're not on the list. But luckily somebody walks in and it's like, oh, they're covered. They're good. And that is what that verse is saying. So I think we all should be paying attention to the times that we're in right now. I think all of us have the sense that it is time. We're all dreaming. We're all having those dreams. And this is prophecy in itself. And people say all the time, well, they've been saying the rapture is going to happen for decades, for years. And it's just like, one, that's prophecy in itself. And I don't even think you're aware of that, but you're fulfilling prophecy by saying that. But two, has the world ever looked like it looks right now? Have we ever seen conflict from every aspect, from every area, from multiple countries? Have we ever seen the country failing? Food is scarce. The weather is out of control. People are dreaming nonstop. Like, all of this is Bible prophecy. And I think, but if you have already taken on the name of Christ and you call yourself a Christian, you really have to check to see that you are in the faith, because a lot of us, or not me, I'm not going to include myself, but a lot of people will say that they're a Christian and they will not make it in. They will not make it in, or it's going to be a lot of Christians who barely make it in. So yeah.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never failed me all my days.